Welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle, and in today's video, we're talking about the one and only CKB crypto-related market news, and then we'll go over the charts. I think today we're going to cover CKB, we're going to cover Ethereum and Bitcoin, because all of these coins will be relevant in today's video. As you guys may or may not know, I was over in Japan for about 2 weeks recently, taking care of some business and a little R&R. But somebody out there made a wild little meme here, and I'll see if I can find it. And I can assure you, folks, this is not me dancing on this table, that is for sure. I wish, right? Just a little housekeeping. There's just not a whole lot of Nervos Network news at the moment, but if something breaks, we'll definitely cover it. November 19th, folks, is the massive day for Nervos. It's simultaneously CKB's 4th birthday and first halving. Needless to say, we'll be throwing a party. So they are having a Discord party. I am thinking about doing some sort of a live stream as well to help cover this amazing accomplishment that Nervos has made. There was a really cool article that I saw, and right away when I looked at the headline, analyst on Bitcoin 4-hour candlestick close-up could signal the return of the bull run. And I'm just like, oh my God, this headline gives me an absolute headache. How could somebody predict the next bull run off a 4-hour candle? But to this person's credit, Ali Charts, I've never heard of this gentleman before, posted a very interesting chart. And this is a multi-month chart here, supposedly on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see. And we're looking at Bitcoin. And you can see there's some strong trend lines to the downside here, and there was some bearish divergence that did occur. So we're seeing somewhat of an interesting situation. You can see here price went up, RSI went up, and then you can see the RSI started swinging down. So with that said, where are we at right now? I'm hoping this guy is right, but I thought this was kind of an interesting chart. And I love the RSI, and I love looking at these types of examples. Let me know how much Bitcoin you guys are holding, and really, this I thought was kind of interesting. Bitcoin non-whale addresses now control 41.1% of the supply, which is a new all-time high. And basically what you can see here is that wallets holding 0 to 100 really kind of captivate 2.4% of Bitcoin supply accumulated since last October. And you can see that the 100 to 100,000 Bitcoin wallets have less than 1% of supply. It looks like they've dumped since early June. So I did think that this was kind of interesting. It's showing that there's a lot more day-to-day consumers or investors like average Joes possibly getting into Bitcoin. Obviously, if you're holding 50 Bitcoin and you're included in this list, I consider that to be almost like whale status. 100 plus whale status. I mean, I don't know. Especially when markets start to hit new all-time record highs. This I thought was interesting as well. Ether turns inflationary. There's less and less people using the network. What needs to happen for Ethereum to really stay successful? Well, it needs traffic, and it's down to a 9-month low. And really, when it comes down to it, people are sick of paying the gas fees. And when there's not people to pay these gas fees, folks, guess what? The supply of Ether gets minted. You know, basically it increases. So this goes from deflationary to inflationary and back and forth depending on where the markets are at. But if enough people get sick of Ethereum and they just don't have a lot of activity, or it dies off to a point where Ethereum becomes super inflationary, there could be some sort of death spiral that happens within Ethereum, possibly. I'm sure the foundation would step in, or maybe they have some sort of emergency savior mechanism that they could activate to prevent crazy amounts of ETH from being minted. But with that said, it's just something to kind of keep an eye on if you've got Ethereum. Nervos Network, we're trading under a point on the day, down 0.2 on the week, down or up 1% on the month. So down on the year for 30%. So it is what it is right now. Let's just take a look at the charts, and we're going to start with the weekly, and then we're going to just cram this all in. So the weekly, folks, this is what I like to look at and really kind of study the most. Like I've been saying, I'm hoping that we get this little inverse head and shoulders, or this could be construed as, you know, some sort of expanding wedge or something like that. But the reason I think that, you know, it's not some sort of expanding wedge is because really we haven't seen this area come down to hit this trend line. And I hope it doesn't happen. So if you can kind of see what I'm talking about, I'm hoping that we have more of an inverse head and shoulders here right now. But on the weekly candle, folks, we have printed, I don't know, this could be, it could be a little tombstone of some sort, but it's almost looking like a little doji star. I mean, it's a spinning top right now technically, but it's green. We're going into the weekend, and I'm hoping that we start to see this momentum that I've been talking about, folks. And I'm hoping we can see a run-up of 20% to this 50 moving average right around the 0.0032-ish area. That's the first hard line on the weekly that price action is going to test. Now let's look at the daily, folks. Nervos Network, I'm proud to report, is still maintaining above this Ichimoku cloud. So this is really great news to see. I mean, that we're still on the up and up. Technically, when price action gets above the Ichimoku cloud on the daily, weekly, we look for more of an increase in price. So you can see here's some more examples, and I pointed this out in the video the other day, but once price action gets above this cloud, especially like on the daily, the weekly, we can see momentum pick up. But the problem is, this is such a thin cloud, it would be super easy for price, like right back in here, to collapse back underneath it. So, I mean, the whole market right now is just on edge, in my opinion. Like, it's walking on eggshells. It seems like any of the littlest news just sets it off. But here we are on the 4-hour chart. And I mean, you know what? We could almost have somewhat of an ascending triangle, something like that. So, I mean, I would love to see these lows continue to squeeze here. But we can see clearly that these lows are continuing to get higher from this point here to, well, this point right here technically, to this point, which is barely above this part. And then you can see this part. You can see these lows. They just keep getting higher. So I'm hoping this is the direction, and here is the moon. Actually, you know what? You know what, folks? I am going to do something that I've never done before. And this is going to be crazy. Absolutely crazy. Bear with me here. We're going to put the moon right up here at 40 cents. How about that? Well, that's it for today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit something different with the extra news and stuff like that. You know, Nervos Network news comes first and foremost. Like I said, there just hasn't been a whole lot coming out since my last video. So when that happens, we'll just cover the news on other topics in the crypto industry. You're here, you might as well hear about it. So I love you all. Have a great weekend. We'll get another video out on Sunday or Tuesday. So if I don't drop one on Sunday, expect one Tuesday. Then we'll maybe do one on Wednesday. We'll maybe do one on Friday. See ya.